Alright, I got the glasses on, got the GoPro on my head, as you can see. You can see this, I can see it on my phone, what it looks like basically. Hopefully I got it set up so you guys can see the road. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over why you should buy a turboed vehicle. Put the window down a little bit. These are tinted, so maybe I won't look so dumb when I'm driving if I'm at a stoplight or something, because people still be able to see in, but won't be as bad. Who cares? Watch these people, they're gonna look at me really funny. These people. Only in Canada, when there's this much snow, you'll see that guy is wearing shorts. Only in Canada. It's a great place to live. Alright, so first, what I'm gonna talk about is, you know, there's a lot of stigma saying like, don't buy a turbo vehicle, it's just a lot of more problems, all those types of things. I was one of those people too, not gonna lie. That's what I kind of thought about, and I was kind of worried about purchasing a vehicle, especially one that's this expensive, and it having a turbo in it, especially after being used too. So the first thing you got to look at is, if it's used, was it beat on? Now, I'm sure you've seen a lot of videos, I'm sure you watch a lot of videos of people beating on their cars, everything like that. Look at this dog. I love dogs, by the way. I love dogs. Look at him looking at me. He's like, I love your master. I kind of lost track where I was. Yeah, so you got to think about, if you're buying a used turboed car, now obviously they're gonna have beat on it or use, you know, the performance that's given when you buy that type of car. Obviously that's gonna happen. It's going to be a thing. Now the things you got to look at is, you know, who are you buying it from? What type of person are you buying that vehicle from? Are you buying it from, oh hey, I'm gonna stop at this guy's house over here in the suburbs where they live around town, and I'm gonna check out a car here? Or do you have to drive 30 minutes, you know, out in the boonies where basically there's no cops ever? You know, you can obviously see some, you know, just like social norms of basically bringing in that kind of, you know, spectrum of things. But then you can also look at a dealership. Now that's where I actually bought my car from, was from a dealership, was from an actual Mazda dealership. Now, the reason why I went through the Mazda dealership is because I could do a lot of tests there. Now, I was there, I got them to do a compression test, I got them to do, you know, rust check. They put it up on the lift for me. I did all those types of things. I took it for a drive, you know, I rev limited it, everything like that. Like I drove it pretty hard, and basically, you know, check the oil, do all like the major things you should do whenever you're buying a used car. You know, there's a bunch of videos out there, and you know, it turned out to be fine. It was just fine. Owning a turboed car is actually, it's just crazy. It's nuts. Like the amount of fun that I have driving this turboed car is just, it's mind-boggling. I can't even put it to words on how fun it is. So again, like I was saying, people are gonna say, you know, if you buy a turbo car, there's gonna be more issues. Obviously there's gonna be more issues because you're literally adding another part onto a car which could possibly break. Now, obviously when you buy a turbo car, you know that's something that's gonna happen. That's a part of life when you're buying a turbo car. But is it worth it? Is what we're trying to figure out right now. Every time I get into this car, I enjoy every single minute of it. I love driving this car. Right now, I'm literally just taking a drive because I was bored. I was doing lesson plans because I am a teacher. Now I was bored actually doing work, so I wanted to just come out for a drive. I usually do it when I have a motorcycle, which I'll be making videos in the future, but I just love enjoying this car. Why? Because when I'm on my motorcycle, I love just the feeling of having that power, the lightness, being able to take turns, curvies, all those types of things. It's just a lot of fun. Now when you own a turbo car, it's the exact same thing. Why you should buy a turboed car is for the performance. Just straight up is for the performance. You can also buy it because they are so much fun. They're insanely fun, and if you get one that works great, you know, and it's one you love. I love hatchbacks. These cars were only made in standards. So I have a 2010 Mazda Speed 3. They're only made in standards. You can't even get them automatic, which is just, it's just great. Now there's also, you know, not a lot of people own this car around here. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 people that own this car around me. and that's basically it. Now I do have the window down, so there is a little bit of noise, but I just want you to hear something if you can. So I'm not sure if you heard that, but that was 110 kilometers with probably a quarter of the throttle, maybe a quarter of the throttle. Okay, I never thought I'd own a car like this, never. Every single time you just hear that blow off valve, and that's a stock blow off valve that's on this too. There's only a Cobb air intake filter. That's the only thing that's on it, and I would advise putting one of those on if you ever do buy a car like this. Woo. Now again, I'm not giving it a lot of throttle. I'm not going crazy or anything like that. I'm just kind of doing like a nice Sunday drive. Obviously it's 80 kilometers, I'm going 81 kilometers. So I'm not trying to spin around, anything like that. It's very easy to get pulled over in a car like this. It's nuts. These cars are not made to be on roads like this. Is it worth buying a turbo car? Personally, I think it is. Now, I never thought I'd own a turbo car. I never thought in my life I would own a turbo car, because of the stigma and just how expensive they are to keep up. Literally, I've drove this for the month, so I don't know exactly how expensive it is to keep up or anything like that, but overall there hasn't been an issue. I still have a year of warranty on the powertrain. I've owned an 04 Mazda 3 for 5 years, and I just got rid of it when I actually traded in for this, and I never had one issue with it, not one. You honestly, if you have the chance to buy a turboed car, even if it's your first car and you could buy maybe a cheaper one that you could learn how to fix cars on, all those types of things, it'd be great to do. So personally, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to try to learn how to fix those types of things, those turbo problems. I've done a lot of other things, you know, suspension work, brake work, all those types of things, you know, changing the fluids, all those types of things. I've done all of that, but again, if there's a turbo issue, that's going to be a whole different realm. So if you're open-minded to actually trying to learn how to fix these types of cars, if you don't have the great amount of money, that's another reason why you should buy one. So my final speech just about turbo cars is they are great vehicles. I love this Mazda Speed 3. If you ever had a chance to buy one, that's full boost, and that's 100 kilometers. It's just, oh, so crazy, so crazy. I love it every single day. Every single day I get in one of these. So yes, I'm gonna say turbo cars, thumbs up for me. I would buy another one. I don't think I'll ever go back to buying a naturally aspirated car. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I was gonna buy a fairly new car with tech packages, all those types of things, you know, big LCD screens. I'm gonna take performance over tech any day now. Driving one of these has actually changed my whole perspective on cars. It's crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are on the fence of buying a turbo car, I'd say go for it. Now, again, I've talked about a few things. You gotta worry where you're buying it. If you're buying it from a dealership, make sure it's not a sketchy dealership. I was in one of the biggest dealerships in New Brunswick is where I live. So obviously it's gonna be decent, okay? If you're buying it from, you know, someone in the city, it's a little better as well. You know that they're from the city. Maybe they were just doing city driving. Maybe they didn't put a lot of kilometers on it, anything like that as well. People out in the rural industries or rural places, all those types of things, tend to drive it a little bit harder because they have those open roads and less police. Especially, you can't drive around the city, you know, grabbing your car up, all those types of things either, right? So you got to think about those things. Obviously, if you just take from this video what I've told you and what about these cars, you're gonna be fine. If you have the chance to buy one, you're on the fence, do it. Just do it. Comment below if you do have a turbo car. If you guys have any questions, anything like that about your turbo car, maybe you had some issues with your turbo car that other people would want to hear about and how you dealt with it. So leave in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to be making more videos like this. As you know, we're going to play it off with some music, and have a good day, guys.